Hello and welcome to day 3 here at IPC Apex Expo. Last day of the show. We've had a couple of really busy days. Yesterday, the show floor was quite active all day, and lots of parties, of course, last night. So it's been a fun show. My first guest today is Ryan Gamble from Intraratio. So nice to see you again, Ryan. Thank you for coming in.
Likewise, always a pleasure. Yeah, I love the insightful questions, the great topics you bring up and talk about. Thank you.
Right. So just to sort of recap on the Intraratio platform, I mean, you 3 segments. There's 3 different components, as I recall, or was it 4, in the actual basic software?
Yeah, so the whole MES layer, and then we have the whole IoT backbone. My shameless plug, we've been IoT before it was even a buzzword. And then we have the data interchange layer to pull data, push data, automate reporting back and forth through accounting systems, your suppliers.
Right.
You know, this can be as complex as TSMC, as small as GDSI, other little suppliers, and then pushing it and pulling it from ERP systems like Oracle, SAP.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's fair to say you did a lot of work in the semiconductor business, really, before you moved into the SMT side of the industry.
Very much.
Yeah, so let's take a look at what's new. I believe you've got some sort of AI offering that you've recently launched. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, we finally started to market it. It's been in kind of stealth mode for a year. It's called AI Card. This product was meant to actually be accessible and usable immediately in terms to drive automated outlier detection across the entire line. So this can be from wafer level to chip all the way SMT through to box build final assembly.
Right. So it's looking at outliers. It's alerting the operators, and it's giving them presumably a list of potential things that might be causing that defect or that outlier.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, minor detail. Outliers can be somebody swapped out a reel for the last 20 boards of a 1,000 board run. You want to know that happened. You're generating 100,000 modules a day on some of the lines we're deployed on, SMT. That's just a tsunami of data. You just do not have the insights to see that. The only time you start to understand that is when you have an RMA or a failure come in the line or something downstream.
Right.
So at every step from printer, mounter, AOI, AXI, oven, everything test, outlier detection, these are not necessarily failures. These are just things that have shifted in the manufacturing line.
Right.
And then you now have outlier detection that correlate to actual scrap, but you also now have these outliers that aren't scrap that are now moving down your line. And so that's insightful to catch failures before they happen.
So how sensitive can you make that detection? I mean...
Yeah, pretty sensitive. So the key thing is to get rid of the data science overhead within, right? Factory plants do not have the bandwidth or the budget to throw, hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions actually, at data science. So what we've done is made it accessible. You can set a trigger level, say, hey, a 10% of production move through this step, or 1%, or maybe the first board. Run outlier detection on it, and your sensitivity from a data science perspective, it's it's called the contamination coefficient, but we call it the sensitivity, 0 to 5%. Now that's going to amplify outliers, depending on how you make it. So you as the engineer have the control based on the correlation to actual scrap, the correlation to actual things. 0 IT overhead, 0 data science required. We just deploy. It's unsupervised learning models, which means you don't have to run training on it.
Right.
We can do the training as well, specialized cases, but yeah, so it's basically the sensitivity in that level.
So it's a bit like doing inspection, except you're trying to limit the false calls.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that's great. So you've also had a pretty successful year in the last 12 months. You've added some new customers. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we keep getting pushed into some interesting product lines. One of them is optical coupling technologies that are now for coupling onto devices, onto chips for high-speed communications. So that's with Senko out of Japan International. So here in the West Coast, formidable technology line that's now also being ported overseas. over into Asia, which is great for some high volume over in Taiwan. So lots of little significant wins like that, and we love when our customers are really pushing our technology.
Yeah, absolutely.
You really learn a lot.
Yeah, you learn a lot, and you test. But I mean, you must be fairly versatile to be able to adapt to any given situation.
Yeah. That's a great way to put it. I'd love to hire you for sales on my side. Yeah, exactly. We have a plug-and-play platform. Any protocol, any data format, any machine, if there's a bit coming off that machine, landing on the network or a file folder, any type of API, we can plug and play and connect to it in a matter of just hours. So we don't have to re-architect our back end. And I think that's the thing that shifted this. Coming out of silicon photonics, some of the more complex packaging, most complex process tracking, we had to deal with new machines that weren't following necessary protocols and standards, and how do you adapt to that? And so that just allowed us to really leap and move faster through SMT than most other solutions.
Okay, so what's coming next?
Great question. On the product roadmap, so we have data warehousing as well. The tsunami of data, when you're collecting everything off a machine, this is massive. Our platform is very scalable. Example, Cisco systems on a number of their complex product lines, we still have the original databases from 9 years ago.
Really?
And these things are monsters. They're multi-terabyte. But so now dealing with the data warehousing, offloading that, again, automated, removing the IT bottlenecks, making this really seamless on deployment. So there's almost zero overhead cost other than just the license of the solution, deploy, and go. And that will open up more business intelligence expansion for our end customers as well. So.
Yeah. I mean, you and I had differing views, as I recall, on the Cisco mantra of collecting all the data and putting it in a warehouse. You like to keep it more contextualized and siloed, as it were.
Yeah, let's keep it real. It doesn't need to be a fishing expedition.
Right.
I think that's the thing that makes our Intraratio so formidable in this market. Right now, we're the only company in the world that can service the complexity of silicon photonics.
Yeah.
Within factory as well as global supply chain. But because the data is hyper contextualized. You remember well. Thank you. I hate the word data lake. Sorry, I'm not swimming. Okay. I'm solving things.
Okay. Well, it looks like you're doing a good job of it. So congratulations once again, and thank you for coming in and telling us about it today.
My pleasure. Yeah, thanks for the platform. Thanks for the messaging. Yeah, always great to connect with you. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. So coming up after the break, we're going to be talking to another software revolutionary company, Calcuquote. That's coming up just...
The Arch FX manufacturing platform. Processing over 1 trillion data points each month. Bringing value to every level of your organization. That's manufacturing insights for tomorrow.
Why do something 3 times when you can do it only once? Using N1 Pass technology, BTU's new Profile Tracer is a next-generation thermal profiling tool, providing real-time data acquisition for oven optimization. It identifies inconsistencies due to temperature variables at both the product level and the heat source. Profile Tracer measures dual temperature locations as well as vibration, all in one pass, giving you time to attend the more important things in life.
For micro dispensing, there is one product line that is proven and trusted by manufacturers in semiconductor packaging, electronics assembly, medical device, and electromechanical assembly the world over. DL Technology, superior pumps and needles for the finer things in life.
Imagine the competitive advantages of producing high mix and high volume PCB assembly on a single SMT line running non-stop even during changeovers. It's available now from the only maker in the
For micro dispensing, there is one product line that is proven and trusted by manufacturers in semiconductor packaging, electronics assembly, medical device, and electromechanical assembly the world over. DL Technology, superior pumps and needles for the finer things in life.
Imagine the competitive advantages of producing high mix and high volume PCB assembly on a single SMT line running non-stop even during changeovers. It's available now from the only maker in the world providing mixed production SMT line solutions complete with full dual printing, SPI, pick and place, reflow, AOI and board handling machinery for different product dual lane processing in the smallest footprint possible. Make more PCB assemblies with less time, less space, less investment.
And welcome back. I'm delighted to be joined now by Stephanie Barone from Calcuquote. Thank you for coming in, Stephanie. Nice to see you.
My pleasure. Good to be here.
Yeah. So tell me what some of the new developments have been with the Calcuquote platform, because you continue to develop it, you continue to add modules to it. So what's been happening recently?
Well, recently we just celebrated our 10th anniversary, so we've been in business for 10 years. We've got a decade under our belts, and we have, I can't do the math that fast, but we do monthly product releases, so that's a lot. We've been growing constantly, like we were just talking about stock CQ, that we're really enabling customers to free up their excess inventory to unload it, but we've also always given customers the ability to shop from their own inventory first, which is really cool.
Right.
And also, using that peer group to find parts that maybe they can't find.
Yes.
Obsoletes, whatever. We're creating a lot of changes in our platform so that it has become a lot more modular, and being able to allow customers to do a choose-your-own-adventure type model.
Right.
Making it more flexible and scalable so that we can do the mom and pop shop with, it's just, me and my husband and a guy, or, we're a multinational, multi-plant, massive
Tier 1
global entity.
Right.
We can do that.
Right.
And being as a part of ELISA, having that financial backing to just give us access
Gives you the
to
muscle
engineers
to do it.
and PhDs and machine learning and artificial intelligence. And I mean, it's exciting to wake up and go to work every day.
Yeah, I bet it is. So, I mean, when you go into a new customer, I mean, do you look at them individually at their business and use case, and then advise them on how or what suite or parts of the Calcuquote suite?
Yeah, absolutely. It always starts with, tell me about your business, right? Like old school sales, but really understanding how they do work. But I think one of the most important things is that about 90% of the employees at Calcuquote come from the electronics industry. We understand distribution. We understand working in an EMS. We've worn, straps on our shoes, right? So understanding that level of how complex this industry is, the real nuance to, we're not just quoting, but the nuance that's involved in quoting, looking for alternates, making sure that the best price is truly the best price, because the lowest price is not always the best price.
Right.
Really helping customers do things better, smarter, faster. And, we keep hearing people say, I can't hire people. And sometimes you can't hire your way out of a problem.
No.
And automation's the way to go. Smart automation. you know.
So tell me a little bit more about that. You mentioned there earlier that you were doing some your PhDs, you were doing some AI work. Where are you applying that?
Oh God, I thought you were going to ask to explain it, and I can't. We're applying that to things like alternate searches. I would love for you to come by the booth and see this presentation. It's amazing. But if you think about part ABC 1, 2, 3, and it's been obsolete for 6 months, but your customer keeps sending you, bombs with that part on it. Being able to check your history and say, what have we subbed for this before? Or we've never subbed for this before. Where has it been used? Where has it been in the environment of the world, right? In everything we've ever done or everything Calcuquote's ever seen, where has this part been subbed? And what are other like parts that it gets used with where they've been subbed? So we really use machine learning to look at that and sort of mimic what a human being would do and say, oh, all the tolerances and stuff are here. You can edge a little bit this way, but you can't edge that way. And it really understands that. And how they do it, absolute magic in my mind, way over my pay grade. But I mean, these incredibly smart people are applying really cool technologies in ways that I never thought of. Yeah. I just sit around going, we can do that on the regular. I mean, we just come up with new stuff all the time.
They're able to do a lot of the grunt work and go through tons of data, basically.
Right. Tons of data so that then you, as a user, can put your smart human brain to work and we say, here are your exceptions. Here are the things that are going to come back and bite you.
Right.
Let's take a look at those. Let's make sure with your actual human brain who knows what you want to do and make sure you're doing the right thing.
Great. So how's the customer base for Calcuquote been going? I mean, has that been growing significantly?
Yeah, we're doing very well. Really, really proud of us. Like, we went from being a scrappy little startup. When I started 5 years ago, there were 5 of us.
Right.
We have over 70 employees. We're global. We have over 300 customers. I mean, it's been a good run, and we are not slowing down.
Right. Wonderful. Well, it's great news. It's a great story. So, keep it up. And, thank you for coming in and telling us about it today.
All right. My pleasure.
Thank you. So coming up after the break, we're going to do the show wrap-up. We'll be having a look at all of the things that have happened this week at Apex and giving you all the stories from the show.
For micro dispensing, there is one product line that is proven and trusted by manufacturers in semiconductor packaging, electronics assembly, medical device, and electromechanical assembly the world over. DL Technology, superior pumps and needles for the finer things in life. Imagine the competitive advantages of producing high mix and high volume PCB assembly on a single SMT line running non-stop even during changeovers. It's available now from the only maker in the world providing mixed production SMT line solutions complete with full dual printing, SPI, pick and place, reflow, AOI and board handling machinery for different product dual lane processing in the smallest footprint possible. Make more PCB assemblies with less time, less space, less investment. At Kaizen, we know it's the science that makes the difference. The right solutions happen when you care enough to ask the right questions. And we understand that your performance is directly related to ours. Science knows why it works, care knows why it's important.
Without reliability, with reliability, a world of difference. Welcome on the journey to better reliability outcomes.
The Arch FX manufacturing platform, processing over 1 trillion data points each month, bringing value to every level of your organization. That's manufacturing insights for tomorrow.
Why do something 3 times when you can do it only once? Using N1 Pass technology, BTU's new Profile Tracer is a next-generation thermal profiling tool, providing real-time data acquisition for oven optimization. It identifies inconsistencies due to temperature variables at both the product level and the heat source. Profile Tracer measures dual temperature locations as well as vibration, all in one pass, giving you time to attend the more important things in life.
For micro dispensing, there is one product line that is proven and trusted by manufacturers in semiconductor packaging, electronics assembly, medical device, and electromechanical assembly the world over. DL Technology, superior pumps and needles for the finer things in life. Imagine the competitive advantages of producing high mix and high volume PCB assembly on a single SMT line running non-stop even during changeovers. It's available now from the only maker in the world providing mixed production SMT line solutions complete with full dual printing, SPI, pick and place, reflow, AOI and board handling machinery for different product dual lane processing in the smallest footprint possible. Make more PCB assemblies with less time, less space, less investment. At Kaizen, we know it's the science that makes the difference. The right solutions happen when you care enough to ask the right questions. And we understand that your performance is directly related to ours. Science knows why it works, care knows why it's important.
Without reliability, with reliability, a world of difference. Welcome on the journey to better reliability outcomes.
And welcome back. And it's time for the show wrap-up. So who else should we have to help me with the show wrap-up but the queen of marketing here, Megan Wendling. It's great to see you, Megan.
Thank you. Thank you, Trevor.
Yeah.
Thank you for inviting me this morning.
Yeah, and it's been a really busy show. And of course, last night we had an exceptionally good party that you hosted up in Orange Hills. So thank you very much for that.
It was fun. We had a big crowd, and it was the industry is obviously thriving and growing because the party keeps on getting bigger every year.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So.
All right, so let's take a look at the show this week and what's been the sort of high points of it. Mm-hmm. I can't say I've seen an awful lot of things that are absolutely revolutionary new.
Right.
Saw a couple of new refill ovens that are being manufactured in Mexico. So
Yes.
they made their
Yes.
debut here.
Right.
From
Yes,
Ursa and from
BTU.
BTU. Yeah.
BTU.
Yeah,
Yes.
so-
The new Aurora and the Pyramax are now being made in Mexico, and Smart Sol is helping manufacture them in Mexico, and of course they're doing a great job, and the Mexican market for Smart Sol and for BTU is very strong.
Right,
So-
right. Well, the Mexican market generally is exploding, but you know, I'm just wondering, what do you think about the move up here to Anaheim instead of San Diego? I mean, San Diego's much easier for Mexican customers to get to.
Sure. Though you know, I had a very large Mexican contingency at our party last night, so we had probably 3 tables of Mexican manufacturers. But part of the issue was that I work with many of the Mexican rep groups, SMT, VYS, Victor Madero, and he was explaining that most of the major EMS companies down there couldn't get visas to come to this show.
Really?
There's a 2-year lag on the visas, so
Wow.
it was very difficult, and very few people actually got to come to the show.
That's
All
interesting.
the normal people who would come, the big guys from Jabil and whatever, they just couldn't get the visas to come over. And
Well, yeah, that's really interesting because, I mean, I don't know if you noticed this week, because the show, the Apex, is paired with the Electronic Circuits World Convention, there's quite a lot of people from here, from Taiwan and China this week.
Yes.
Much more than you would normally get at an Apex.
Well, you know, I sat with a lot of the Chinese companies this week, and you know, China is desperate to hit the American market, but you know, the obstacles are so enormous. The only company that actually I've seen make some real headway is Cicino, which was the One Click in China, and they have rebranded for the American market under the Cicino brand.
Yeah, that was a smart thing to do.
Yeah, and Leo Peng is a wonderful businessman, and it's taken a huge capital investment, and I think part of the problem is I sat with several new entrees just visiting Apex to see if they could enter the market, and when we sat with them, you know, I tried to explain this is a 5-year deal for you, and you're going to have a very big bank account and a lot of patience, because success in a year isn't going to happen. And,
right.
you know,
And a lot of them are going to have to up their game, quite frankly, because, I mean, one of the things I've noticed with the Taiwanese and Chinese companies coming into Mexico is they're buying best-in-class equipment,
Right.
because they know they're going to have to compete with American companies.
Right. So, and I've seen a little bit of slowdown on, for a while there, all the American contract manufacturers, and many that we have over 26 CMs in the MWA family as well, and everyone was racing to open up facilities and do JVs in Mexico, and that has slowed down considerably. And a lot of the big distributors have told me that there has been a little bit of a slowdown in the Mexican market. So coming into the fall, looking at the Guadalajara show, I guess we'll see. But certainly we can sell a lot.
Yeah,
so.
no, I think actually Dieter Weiss hit the nail on the head earlier this week by saying that it's really just a small inventory correction, because everybody had this oversupply. The OEMs had oversupplied, their warehouses were full, and they just said, look, push these orders back 6 months. We want them in the second half of 2024. Right,
I'm seeing a lot of that. So, yeah.
And I think truly that's all that's happening. I don't think there's any sort of major issue going on in terms of a downturn.
This is a Productronica year, and I think we saw Productronica is famous for new product introductions, and I think I'm not finding a lot of new technology at this show. There's some smaller things that I think are very popular, but most of the major pieces were brought out and debuted at Productronica.
Right.
Weller has a new unit that I thought was very cool. It is actually a vacuum station for air filtration
for exhausting the fumes.
And exhaust the fumes. You go into factories and have all this piping and all this stuff all over the place to ensure the filtration, which is becoming a big deal. But they've come out with a new filtration unit that is about the size of a bathroom scale. And it goes on each station so that the worker is protected. And the price point is so low. And it just sort of, their new WX Smart, which is like 4 units in one, sits on this filtration unit so that, you have everything you need in about a foot by a foot footprint. And it's very, it's cleaning up these stations quite a bit.
Right.
So.
Well, I mean, it's becoming increasingly important because one of the big topics here this week has been sustainability.
Yes.
Everybody's moving towards sustainability and making things more environmentally friendly, saving energy, etc., etc.
Yeah. So, I think worker protection is becoming so important, and and the workers are demanding it, and rightfully so. But I think that this particular product is going to have a big reach, just because it can not only go into electronics assembly, but even when the notorious nail salons. I can see it having a place in a lot of different markets. So,
right.
But they're kind of been booming with that particular new unit, and it's kind of it's not a major piece of equipment, but it's making the workplace safer. So at a reasonable price.
Yeah.
So
great. Okay. Well, I think really, this, as I say, it's been a really busy week. The floor's been busy most of the week, and I think I want to thank you for coming in and giving us an update on all the new equipment and things you've seen this week, Megan.
Well, thank you.
So that brings us to the end, really, of this week's Tech Talk from Apex, and I want to thank everybody for joining us.
Thanks. Thank you.
The Arch FX manufacturing platform, processing over 1 trillion data points each month, bringing value to every level of your organization. That's manufacturing insights for tomorrow.
Why do something 3 times when you can do it only once? Using N1 Pass technology, BTU's new Profile Tracer is a next-generation thermal profiling tool, providing real-time data acquisition for oven optimization. It identifies inconsistencies due to temperature variables at both the product level and the heat source. Profile Tracer measures dual temperature locations as well as vibration, all in one pass, giving you time to attend the more important things in life.